California love. California knows how to party. California knows how to party. In the city, city of lit. In the city, city of watts. In the city of Compton. We keep it stomping. We keep it rocking. Peace, family. Grand Rising. Greetings to everybody. This is your brother Red Pill reporting live and direct from the beautiful city of Los Angeles. City of Los Angels. How's everybody doing on this beautiful day? Oh man, I'm about to be joined by a super legend. Doing on this wonderful day where you could choose to wake up and boss up and be the best version of yourself. There she go.
You must be here for the birthday bash. It must be a surprise visit, nigga. Nigga must be surprising me for my birthday. That must be the case.
Yeah, I'm here early. I'm getting it in on an early tip.
What's up?
What's up?
How you doing? I said, wait, hold on a second. I already said, wait, hold on a second, and then you said L.A. because you said the beautiful city. I said, don't let this nigga say L.A.
Right. You felt the LA vibes. You was like, wait a minute. This don't look like no Atlanta shit right here. This nigga's on the back porch smoking a doobie. Yeah, I'm in your city.
Yeah, I got
Beautiful.
Okay, you in the city.
You out here?
Man, I'm the West Coast wave goddess. You better stop playing with me.
I already know. They told me when I got to the airport that you was already in town. You know what I mean?
I already know who you talking about, babe, telling all my business.
Well, no, sentence. Everybody know where Lizzie be at. You know what I'm saying? You got to check. You know how they got the flight boards? I checked the board to see if Lizzie was in L.A. Oh, okay, she's in L.A. Not in Cabo, not in Ibiza. You know what I'm saying? She's in L.A.
Ibiza is on my list.
Yo, I was downtown yesterday. Downtown New York is like, fuck. I mean, downtown Los Angeles is like New York, bro. That shit is gothic as hell.
Now, that's interesting because I was downtown yesterday because my studio down there and my favorite vegan restaurant is down there. And I was there the night before when all the shooting shit was happening.
On Spring. I heard about
that's right there. And then I was getting my hair done and they had the news on, of course. And they said 4 people shot downtown LA and it was the block.
It was right there on the Blizzy. They pulled up with the glizzy and let them have it.
See, I can't do that downtown shit. But
sunset, you got to get out of there. That's sundown town.
Right. Yeah, there's this spot. You go to Wild Living?
Of course. With the bowl.
Oh man, I'm hosting Taco Tuesday there for my birthday to start the birthday week off on Tuesday. Pull up 9 p.m.
Lit. Okay. Lit. All right. Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna be around for a little bit or just a sec?
It depends. We'll talk about it.
Okay, it depends. I like that. So you're gonna have to come meet me in my hometown tomorrow then.
Okay, Lamert.
Yeah.
I'm pulling up. This is one thing that I could say about LA, and I want to just share this with everybody. It took me about 12 hours to become more reinvigorated with my artistic side than this whole calendar year of 2022. Like, it took me 12 hours in LA to reawaken the inner child inside of me that wants to do art. And for the whole calendar year 2022, I was searching and looking for that spark, and I couldn't find it. But this is a very artistic town. I love the vibes, yo.
Okay, you couldn't find it, so you never found it?
No, I found it in LA.
Okay.
I landed, and 12 hours later, I was like, yo, I want to fucking come out here and do my art. Like, I wanna get on some art shit. Like, I'm inspired just by moving around and seeing how this town is, how people are creating and living their life. And there's people out here creating great lives for themselves just by being artists.
I love that you said that. A lot of my friends who are doing big music shit just moved here in the last month, and they all been reaching out to me because I've been building the Zen and Kush Records, Zen and Kush Management. You're familiar with Rock Nation Management,
Yes.
um, Zen and Kush Management,
I love
and a lot of those artists been in LA, and I love it. This is my home. This is where I grew up, and there's a lot of, um, I have this interesting relationship with the city now, just because I be all over the world. But
right.
there are some truly magical secret spots in LA. It's a couple places, depending on, when we can make the connections and what our schedule looks like, that I want to take you, because there's some places where I'm like, oh, you would only know about this place if you know about this place.
Right, definitely. And that's what I've been seeing. It's a lot of if you know type of areas out here. And every place that I walked into, it was a lot of love. You feel me? You'd be amazed how far Instagram and the internet could get you.
Oh
And
yeah.
there just was a lot of creativity. You know what I mean? There just was a lot of creativity. And I'm like, fam, this is what I need. I need this type of, and I'm not saying that I'm not inspired other places, but I'm just the vibe that I'm getting out here. I was in the bookstore, man,
Yeah.
ready to move into the damn bookstore. It was so much
Okay.
shit in.
I love that for you. I love that for you, Brad. Okay, cool. We're gonna have to yeah, we need to pull up over there together tomorrow.
Right,
Um, but it's a couple things going down. So I'll hit you. I just text you the other day. You text me back.
I
And
did.
now you're in my city. You're
Yeah,
in our
yeah. Sometimes when I say I'm coming through, that's like a omen. You feel me? The way that my shit is set up, the way my body works, I just gotta pull up and then call you like I'm here.
And I like that, and I appreciate that, and I respect that. I'm
Right,
happy that you're here. I'm always with the Vixens, so
right, right.
we should do something.
Well,
We should do a little.
I'm gonna send you the flyer where I'm at today. I'm at a tattoo parlor on Melrose. We doing a masterclass with the brother A Rashid, and I'm out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna be live streaming to the worldwide audience, and we gonna be on Melrose. You know, what I'm talking about
Okay.
do yeah
That.
do.
Send me that time. Let me guess. 333.
Nah, all that 222. Stop playing. 22 to 666.
Okay. What you wearing?
You know, I'm in that athletics. You know what I'm talking about. You know
Uh,
the colors. You know.
I see. Those my colors right there. I'm trying something a little more playful and cute and fun and feminine, and it's all for me.
It's still a war going on outside. You know what I mean? I got to keep the colors on. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Been my everyday look every day this week up until just now. It's always alignment, Red. It's good to see you. I just wanted to pop in and say hello and welcome you back to the city. We're gonna have to get some smoothies. You feel me? I'm gonna take you for smoothies, but I'm gonna see you because I needed to make a play over that way anyway. So it's a line. I'm gonna pull up on you.
I got you. I'm gonna send you that info.
All right, you're amazing.
Yeah, you too. Peace.
Uh,
Yeah, family. So, like I was saying to Lizzie, this city right here, I don't know how it's working out for everybody else. I don't know what LA does to everyone else. Allegedly and apparently, it does something to somebody because a lot of people come out here to chase their dreams and whatnot. Me personally, I'm just inspired with the quote unquote, I would call it, if before I call it art, I would call it the fantasy industry, right? I've been studying the fantasy industry for about a year and some change. I mean, deep diving, talking about, going over because it's a humongous industry. It encompasses comic books, It encompasses cartoons. It encompasses movies. It encompasses sitcoms. It encompasses theater. It encompasses a whole bunch of things. It's called the fantasy industry. It encompasses comic books, right? And we as a nation, or as a people, as a race of people, right? As a race of people, meaning, and I'm speaking of black people, of course, right? I don't know what you want to identify as, but I'm speaking to FBA, ADOS, niggas is AWOL, right? A door, wait, yeah, Ador, American descendant of runaway slaves, American descendants of slaves, niggas, Negroes. I'm just saying, people with melanin, we don't have a foothold in the fantasy industry. We don't have a grip on fantasy. What I mean is, we haven't, when I say fantasy industry, yeah, we have great imaginations, and we indulge, and we're content creators in those industries, but we don't control those industries. We don't own those industries. You feel me? We're not the shot callers. We're the talent. We're not the management. So it's the difference. We're not the label. We're the nigga that the label signs. We don't own the label. We're not management. We're talent. And if you know anything, right, you know the talent doesn't wield the power, right? Talent is not where the power is yielded and whatnot. It's in management. So the small hats control the fantasy industries. The fantasy industry has shaped our subconsciousness as children, no matter what side of the planet that you live on. But if you're inside of the borders of the USA, right, you have been programmed subconsciously through the fantasy industry, through the toys, through the cartoons, through the motherfucking movies, through the shit they tell us in school. All of it is fantasy, right? All of it is fantasy. But I'm mainly speaking about what comes out of the imagination of human beings, right? And and they put, and they manifest this in a physical world, and then in this physical world they're able to monetize it, right? Consecrate whatever these thoughts are, make it a whole, like Hello Kitty, for instance. Hello Kitty was founded in 1975. It's a Japanese brand, right? It's a kitty. Hello Kitty has grossed over $75 billion ever since its inception. So Hello Kitty would be part of the fantasy industry. But as you can see, it has done work, it has done wonders for the economy, right, of Japan. So imagine if the majority of the people who have great ideas, great characters in their heads, they have folklore and mythology and things of that nature. Imagine if they were able to link in cities like Los Angeles with the creative community and bring those ideas to the real world, or into 2D reality, right? 4 and 3D ideas, and you bringing them into this 2D world as a toy, as a cartoon, a brand, right? A brand that's going to teach not just your children, all of the children. Because comic books don't discriminate, nor do cartoons. They make cartoons with green people, with purple Barney and whatnot. It's for everybody. It's for everybody, right? So I've been studying how to, the barrier points and whatnot, and how to get into these multiple industries, and even just how to create our own, because there is no getting into an industry when you are the industry. You make whatever industry that you want, just with your niche market. If you have about 100 people in your niche, then you have an industry, or the beginning tenets of an industry, right? So I'm like, if you got a tablet with programs, if you got Photoshop and all of these other programs, then you could compete with Disney. You could compete with the big boys. You could create anything out of your mind and bring it into 2D, 3D, animated, CGI, whatever reality or whatever medium, you could bring it. You could put it on a canvas. You could put it on some apparel. You can embroidery it. You could silk screen it. You could make stickers out of it. You could put it as a design on a weed bag, because that's a huge industry out here, you know. But that's the vibes that LA is giving me. I'm just openly sharing with my fan, with the audience. You know, I'm just sharing my ideas out loud. But that's what I'm getting. I'm really invigorated, because I'm like, yeah, LA is the place where this shit really goes down. And the most important thing in this whole scheme of things, to me, it wouldn't even be necessarily the artist. It would, not to say, not to take away their importance, but the writer, right? The writer. We need to pick our pens up. Those of us who consider ourselves to be artists and whatnot, those of us who consider ourselves to be visionaries, those of us who consider to be the creative type, we need to begin to write our realities into existence, write characters, write universes, write galaxies, write storylines, write narratives. You know, write the how does the victory even how's the war won? How do you arrive at victory? You write it out. That's why when you come to places like Hollywood, the highest paid people are the writers. You understand? Even though they had to do writer strikes and shit like that, but those are the people when the writers went on strike. As you can see, anytime the writers go on strike, shit shuts down. You know, so that's just a little bit of some advice for anybody that's out there. I'm sure somebody could use that and whatnot and make good on it, and take those jewels right there and turn that shit into a necklace. You feel me? You know. But other than that, how's everybody doing? It's out there. You said ghostwriters. Shit. Even ghostwriters don't even get the credit that they deserve. But you don't even need you don't your name, if your name is rolling in the credits, there is no ghostwriter. You're on the credits at the end of the movie. That's what matters the most, the credits. You feel me? Because if you're not in the credits, then you really technically you're not a part of it. So, as you can see in anything that you see on TV or in production, when the credits roll, there's hundreds of people that are named, because there's a lot of people, there's a lot of hands that have to basically bake that pie. You feel me? There's a lot of hands. There's a lot of you got to work that magic. So, yeah, you know. I don't know the politics of Los Angeles. I don't know how melanated people get together when it comes time to produce content or when it comes time for production. I don't know, what different cliques and circles they got out here. Like, I don't know none of that. But what I do know is that we come together for every other occasion other than a production. Why is that? That's confusing to me. I'm almost baffled by that. Let me repeat. We get together for almost any occasion, sports, right? A weekend out on the town, gambling, going to watch the fight. You feel me? Going to the pool, going to a day party, going to a brunch, going to a dinner, going to the club, going to the strip club. But we are almost allergic. We're almost, you know, we're almost against coming together for means of production. And what I mean by means of production is that you commit 6 months, right? Because that's the average time to produce something that's going to last forever. You commit 6 months of your life and your time, right? And your quote unquote attention to a production. Yo, we're going to put this movie together. These are the hands that are going to be involved in it. This is what it's going to cost. This is the type of time that it's going to, require, right? This is what the sacrifice is going to look like, right? That's called production. This is gonna last forever, right? When we be in the crib binging on movies that came out in the 70s and the 60s, and somebody's gonna be just like that watching your production 50 years from now. If you come together and put something together that lasts forever, usually, right? Usually, and based off of what I've been exposed to, things that are in the fantasy industry have a longer shelf life, right? These cartoons, these toys, they become collector's items. And what do? They accrue in value, they appreciate throughout time, right? Mickey Mouse, Disney characters have appreciated throughout time. Hello Kitty has appreciated. These certain brands and these creations and these inventions and these ideas that a groups of people have basically monetized and brought into 2D reality, and they industrialized it, right? And they're using it as a means of mind control, propaganda, social engineering, social conditioning, superiority, or the false sense of superiority. you know Telling lies, you know bluffing the people again with the mythos, with the fake out. There's a lot of that going on. But when you think about it, the characters that are created and put on script, and that script is made into a movie, right? Those characters are immortal. The comic book characters from the Marvel universe, they're immortal. The cartoons from after school 3 p.m., the cartoons that we all grew up watching, my generation, we watched a different set of cartoons from your generation. Okay? So our programming, our conditioning, you know what I mean? The shit that really is kind of like hardwired into our being is different, based off of the cartoons that we watched after school. So that has to tell you the power of the fantasy industry. That has to tell you the power of the cartoons. I didn't even mention video games, right? All of my gamers that are out there, right? That is that the gamer nation is billions of people out there that are gamers. Fantasy industry, right? Groups of people coming together and creating multiple new worlds out of their imagination, right off of the pen. By creating this shit, it came from the pen first. Well, it came in the mind, and from the mind, it got on a piece of paper through the pen, and then from there, it was designed and concept, and then it was prototype, and then you have a video game. Why can't we do that? Like, what's stopping people that look like me and you from participating in that humongous industry where everybody has got a piece of that pie? With all of the characters that we have in our minds. And keep in mind, we're not just creating characters that look like us. We're not creating characters that are just our color and whatnot. We're creating characters from all walks of the world, from all of our incarnations and our memory and whatnot. The same way that, like how you could create Sesame Street, you know what I mean? Those are ambiguous characters. Like, we're creating characters, we're creating concepts, Right? We're consecrating ideas and concepts and energies in the form of characters. Okay, that's what they do with the myth. That they did that with religion, and to a degree, they do that with the mythos. That's what these cartoons are. That's what your Dragon Ball Z's of the world. That's what your Voltrons of the world. You know, with the colors and the different colors. You know, Sailor Moon, based off of the different planets. We have too much information as a collective to not be multi-billionaire. Let me say that again. Let me say that again. We are too intelligent, right? Collectively, you niggas is some real smart people. Collective, individually, it's a lot going on. But collectively, oh no, we may qualify as the smartest group of, or the smartest demographic on the planet Earth. You know what I'm talking about? On the planet Earth, we might if that means anything, but on the planet Earth, collectively, we may qualify to be at the top. We may be that 1% because what? Knowledge is power. It's not money, retard. Knowledge is power. Okay? It's not resources in the land, because if that was the case, then everywhere where somebody lives where there's a lot of resources in the land, you niggas will be powerful and you're not. No, knowledge is power. Okay, we already made that clear. Knowledge is power, and our collective has enough knowledge to be all powerful, right? So with that being said, there's no reason why we should not be multi-billionaires on the way to being trillionaires, just based off of what I laid out right there, dealing with the fantasy industry. Before you talk about anything else, right? Before you try to gloss over that and you talk about the ills of the world and whatnot, why don't we talk about the shit that's running the subconscious programming first? Why don't we talk about your imagination, something that we all have, right? But you have to come to places like this. And then there's certain places on the planet, there's certain geographical locations where these dreams turn into reality, where you could take ideas and visions and, you know, and bring it into a whole new reality, like in a mystical way. Because when you see, when you pay attention to what's being done, there's a level of mysticism involved. You feel me? There's a level of mysticism involved in making a film. Think about it. When you do a film, how important is everything in that film? Like costume design, set design. If the shit don't look right, if the set is not proper, then the film will not even, you can't even shoot the film. You have to create, right? So people are creating whole new worlds with different sets, whole new worlds with uniforms and outfits. You know what I mean? Do you know how far you could take that shit? Do you know what you could create just with your mind by creating a film out of your wildest dreams or your wildest ideas? You feel me? So cartoons is an industry that we have not yet conquered or even stepped into. The toy industry, because I was in all of the toy stores. The Japanese got that shit on lock, and a few other people, but it's not our people. The comic book industry, they got the black comic book artists, salute to all of them, but they don't got the industry on lock like that. The movie industry, I'm sorry, I know Tyler Perry is the man of the hour, but yeah, we not making fantasy movies. We're not conquering the movie. We're not Afrofuturism. We're not making Afrofuturistic movies, big movies like that. I'm sorry. And for the video game industry, I know that y'all love y'all some Grand Theft Auto. I was just saying that AA yesterday, it's crazy how the world has terraformed into Grand Theft Auto. Especially the big cities like New York and LA. Like LA has terraformed into the video game. So you'll be walking the streets and you might see somebody get carjacked, or you may see somebody do some crazy shit that you see in those video games happen while the game is playing. And it's almost normalized now to a degree where it's like it's in real life. Like John Wick is in real life type shit. Like Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty. These things have almost terraformed the real world. But anyway, we don't have our video game, and we haven't locked down the video game shit. We don't have no definitive video games. We're not producing and developing multi-billion-dollar video game production companies. We haven't even touched that shit. We niggas is out here acting like we the best thing since sliced bread. As a people, we haven't even penetrated. We just making music, damn near. We're just making music. So that's interesting. We could vertically integrate all of these things, right? We could vertically integrate all of these things, all of these industries, from the toy making to the cartoons, that we'll be, to the everything could be vertically integrated and everybody could eat, because everybody has the skill set to do it and everybody has access to the resources to get this shit done. So like I said, the comic book industry, if we would just start with the cartoons, comic books, toys, video games, you don't even got to jump into the movies right away. You conquer those, you talking about opportunities out of this world. And now you're introducing, you're disrupting all of these industries by doing what? By you creating the golden age, or a renaissance, right? When you disrupt the industry and you upgrade it, you create a renaissance. So just think about that. Just think about that. You could win all of your wars. You could conquer all of your universes. You could be Thanos on steroids. You could be in Wakanda forever. Then these little children, when they're growing up and they being programmed and whatnot, because they're gonna get programmed. Netflix kids and Hulu and all of these, and Amazon Prime, and YouTube kids and whatnot, they have a lineup of programming and content to program our babies, right? At least it ain't as bad as Nickelodeon back in the days with the Teletubbies, but they got a lot of different titles and whatnot. And if we're not in that race, if we're not in that race, if we're not vehemently pushing ourselves into those places as content creators, right, and producers, right, then we spinning our wheels. The little ones they're gonna get indoctrinated again. They're gonna get programmed the same way that we was being programmed. They're gonna be confused and whatnot because they're getting all of these narratives, from these characters that have agendas that are being created in the fantasy industry and whatnot. And they're politicizing it. It's agenda heavy, and it don't really serve the purpose for people who are vibrating on frequencies such as you and me. We need content that's going to speak to us in our frequency, in our upward mobility and whatnot, and our reprogramming and our rebranding, right? And the way that we see this world versus the way that we saw it prior. Looking at the world through rose-colored glasses. This is what we deserve, So, well, we're gonna have further when I did an episode on what's that, high level conversations. It hasn't come out yet, but we explore that whole conversation that I've been having with y'all today, you know, we dive into that and whatnot. And, you know, that's definitely, like I said, that's something that I'm consciously, you know, I'm starting that conversation. I am starting that conversation. All right. Yeah. So look, I'm about to go to this venue. I'm gonna be on Melrose. The flyer is on the page. The link is in the bio if you want to watch the live stream. It'll be available for you to watch forever after you get your ticket. You can watch it tonight, tomorrow, or the next day, whatever. It's a 2-day masterclass. Today is the first day. It's up until 6 p.m. If you in the LA area, pull up and holler at your peoples. All right? We'll continue this conversation. Love and light to the family. Peace.